Hey, good morning to you, Bear. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you doing?
Great as well. Really appreciate you joining me here at 6 a.m. your time, very early on.
Not any trouble. I'm usually up around this time doing work anyway.
Okay, so a few things came together in order for me to invite you here. One was a win from you in the Crypto Wins channel, but a second thing was a recent interview with Brandon. He got in contact with you for me because you're a very busy person. So I'm very happy to have you on. What was that win about in the Wins channel?
So that particular win was account metrics for one of the accounts that I'm controlling right now. And it's difficult for me to get win metrics all the time because the profs have taught me to use professional tools in cryptocurrency. So a lot of the exchanges will have these wins that pop up and they're kind of like casino wins in a way. They pop up and they give you this dopamine rush, but the professional tools that I use, they are the cumulative data of my total account over time. So I decided to post the last 30 days. I've had a 71% gain on my account in the past 30 days, and my win percentage on the trades that I take is 73% at the moment on that particular account. I was pretty happy about that.
Hmm. Congratulations. How much of that would you attribute to what you learned through the real world?
100%. Literally everything that I know about trading, about cryptocurrency, about investing comes from the real world. Everything that I learned. I didn't even know you could make a contract for the difference in price before the real world. I had no idea people made money doing that. Didn't know it was a thing. Definitely didn't know
Neither
that I'd
do
be
I,
good
to be
at it.
honest. Fair enough. When did you join? I'm guessing it was HU at the time.
That would be the first week of August in 2021.
So,
There was
wow.
around 2,000 people in the server. It was pretty small at the time.
How different is the real world now compared to what HU used to be?
It's gone through just the content alone, let alone the student body and the structure. It's had four or five different iterations in terms of the content that they teach because they're getting better at it each time. And for every iteration, they need to redo the way that they deliver the message to the students because it's not like the information is changing, but they get feedback from the student body and they go, oh, we should tweak this, this, and this. And then they change the information and they deliver it. And now it's one of the most professional. I would expect this kind of course to come from a university. I've been to university. This is what I would expect for an online course at a university at this level, especially for the investing masterclass and the trading masterclasses. They are, it's the best material that you're going to find online, especially online. You won't get this kind of training unless you're in the real world or you have a master's in finance and somebody is taking you through step by step.
What was your life like before you joined what was called HU at the time? And how different was your average day then compared to how it is now?
So before I joined HU, um, I I dabbled in trading. It wasn't really trading; it was more swing trading. And I worked a day job at a mechanic repair tire shop. So I had a normal everyday life. Worked 9 to 5, and the difference I work a lot more. People say that they want to work for themselves, but what ends up happening is you trade a 9 to 5 for working 24/7. And this is what I've found. I work all the time. I work weekends, I work holidays. I'm up every day before the sun, and I keep working sometimes there's been a lot of times, especially when I first joined the school, I didn't sleep. I was, the information was so crucial to my development. I would forego sleep because I would rather learn what these gentlemen have to teach me in the real world than be healthy. Which
That that sounds exhausting to some people. So,
mhm.
in their perspective, how is this better than working 9 to 5?
It's better because I have my own sources now to access freedom for my own life. I make my own rules about how often I work, what kind of business I'm going to engage in with the world. And it gives me more liberties to work in the real world. In the real world.
And I mean, even something like it's a recession-proof income because no matter, in your case, if the markets go up and down, you're still making money, and there's no way for you to get fired from your job either.
This is very true. I felt like I've stumbled upon a cheat code in a way because I have a lot of friends that still work in the automotive industry and they've been laid off or they're looking for work. And I'm learning from masters in investing and trading in markets. And I'm still here. I'm having a great time. I'm making money with these guys.
So, outside of what you've said about this already, how different is the material in the real world compared to what you can find out on the internet?
It's the differences in, I would say, in what masters in a particular subject know and what they notice. Because you can, as they say, go online and learn anything in the world. But what information is going to be crucial to your development? What do you need to know to move forward? That's the difference. And these gentlemen curate the material in the real world such that all of the noise is gone and all of the signal, what you need to know, is there.
How do you find the content of the course? Are they up to your expectations?
They're beyond my expectations, man. They add to them all the time. I think they could charge thousands of dollars for what they teach easily, easily, and they would get it. They could 10x the amount of money that they charge, but they don't. And they just want to teach what they know. And it's refreshing. It's really refreshing to meet people that are interested in your development that way. They don't care about the dollar value that's not in their minds. Obviously, everybody cares about money, but they're not trying to get the maximum return on investment in terms of money. They're trying to get the maximum return on investment in you as a person, which is the primary difference. Because I've seen courses on crypto, courses on decentralized finance that go for thousands of dollars, $4,000, $5,000, and they aren't as good. They aren't as good as what Szilard teaches. It's mind blowing. You can get it for $50. Doesn't make any sense to me. Economically, it doesn't make any sense. But when I see the changes in people's lives, it makes a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm. And now, how did the community impact you? Did that have any effect?
The community is excellent. There's it's a very mature group of individuals, I would say, for the most part. I mean, I'm in there as well. So it's a mature group of individuals that are interested in developing themselves and they're interested in their own freedom. They're interested in operating in the world with autonomy and liberty. That's what their focus is. So every day I'm talking with people that are interested in learning, they're interested in growing their income, and they're interested in liberty and freedom for everybody involved in the conversation, which is, it's the most refreshing thing that I've ever experienced from a group of people in my life. You don't find groups like this. It's really rare to find individuals that are switched on in this way.
And for people who are saying, it's an online group. How close can you really get to people online? What would you have to say to that?
A lot of people talk about in real life, and I don't make too many distinctions that way. If you have a network of individuals and some of them you know, some of them you don't, I'm sitting here, I'm speaking with you. This is happening entirely online, but this is real life right now. So that is what I would say to those individuals. You have to make the most of the tools that you're given. If you have an online school, it's no different than it isn't any different than the real world in an online school, in an online setting.
Mhm. And when you started out crypto trading or crypto investing, what was the biggest challenge you faced? Do you remember?
My own psychology. The biggest challenge that I faced was maintaining a system and sticking to that system no matter what, because your inclination is to attempt to make as much money as possible. So you become greedy and you become fearful very easily. So it was the discipline that the profs had to instill in me that was the most valuable.
How often do you see other people making a similar mistake since you're an apprentice now? So
Oh
you're
man.
exposed to a lot of people like that.
Yeah, I can read it on people very quickly when they're posting and how they're speaking about their investments. I can tell where their focus is in the future. I can tell what kind of a trader and investor that they're becoming with that kind of stress. Because some people, it's not for them. Some people would rather go the investing route, like Brandon, for instance. He prefers the investing route, and he made that decision very consciously for himself. He said, "This is too much risk. I don't like what this is doing to me." And you have to decide that. How much risk are you going to take on in your investments? I see that all the time from people in the real world, and I do my best to speak with them about this. You have to be disciplined every single day in your trades, and it's just like life. You have to be disciplined in life.
What drew you to short-term trading?
The novelty of it at first, because it was interesting to me that people could make money. And what I saw was betting on speculation. It was price of assets. People are just guessing what's happening and they're getting paid. What is going on? And then I looked closer and I understood, oh, wait a minute. There's strategies involved here. This is more like a game that people are playing with each other. Interesting. Okay. So if this is a game, how do I first of all become good at that game? And then how do I win at that game? That's what I wanted to know. And then it became a challenge within myself. How good are you? Because this is a game with precise metrics in the market. For every buyer, there is a seller. How good are you at trading? Really? How good can you become at trading? So for me, it was competition that drove me into the markets. I have a lot of fun. I love chess. It's one of my favorite games on the planet. And it's chess. It's player versus player in the market. And every single win that I had, I loved it. I loved it. I love winning. So that's what drew me to trading more than anything else, I would say.
What would you say are the three biggest lessons you've learned from your time in the real world?
Stay humble would be the number one thing. You don't know everything. Even if you're a master in a particular discipline, you don't know everything about that discipline yet. There's always something you can learn. And masters understand this about a discipline. There's always something that you can learn at every moment in your journey. That would be the first thing. And the next thing is you get out of a particular discipline or subject what you are willing to put into that discipline or subject. The amount of effort that you're going to put in is directly correlated to the results you're going to get in life. And no matter what you're learning, this is true. And the third thing I would say is being being prepared is no different than being lucky. Being ready every single day, you can influence your own chances for success. And that's all you need to do is show up every single day. It's a discipline.
Now that you're on this trajectory, where do you see your life heading in 6 months to 1 year?
My plans over the next 6 months are to network closely with the people that I've met in the real world. I've met some incredible individuals in the real world, and I now do a lot of business with those individuals at the moment. So I'm looking to actually move closer because we're in adjacent cities, but I would like to move closer to them. And I have family in another city as well, and they're all fairly close to me, but still a little farther than I would like. So I'm going to move closer to them, just to be with family and to be closer to a network of people that I know are growing in the right direction.
And to clarify, did you meet those people through the real world platform?
Yes. Yes, I did. I met all of those people through the real world.
Mhm. Beautiful. What effect would you say Tate has had on you, if any?
Oh man. Tate has changed my life for the better in every single way any metric that you could name, he's changed my life for the better. Um, how much do I want to actually divulge about my life? I used to do a lot of drugs. I used to be on a very destructive path in my life. I wasn't even sure if I really wanted to continue existing as a person, if you understand. And it isn't exactly like Tate by himself reached into my life, but it was the principles and the mindset that Tate was talking about, specifically online and when he was on YouTube still, that impacted me. It affected me to a point where I knew I could think like that. I knew I could emulate the things that he said and did. And it would be a lot of hard work. I would have to get off drugs. And that was one of the first things that I did while I was still in the real world, formerly Hustlers University. And that was hard because I did it by myself. And as they say, hustling in silence, I told nobody what I was doing. And it's still a struggle to this day. But as I said, I have a network of individuals who are all aiming in the right direction. So it's easy for me every day to come to the school, to come here to speak with gentlemen like yourself. And my mindset is instantly on the right things. And he's the beginning of all that. He's the reason that we're here. He's the reason that, well, yeah, he's the reason that I'm off drugs, actually. He's the reason that I have a powerful network. I can't think of a single negative impact in my life because of Tate. Everything in my life has been positive because of his influence.
Beautiful. And before we end off, what advice would you have to people who are considering joining the real world?
If you're considering joining the real world, then obviously you need to understand what it is and research it. Look it up, look up the information for yourself and decide whether or not it's a good investment. And in my mind, this is a simple choice, but everybody has to make their own decisions and everybody has to live their own life. So for yourself, decide whether or not $50 a month or whatever the price may be in the future is worth the cost for you to improve your life, to improve your situation.
And if people want to find out more about you or contact you,
I'm in the real world.
So.
You can find me there.
Well, Bear, again, really appreciate your time. Thank you for this interview. I look forward to doing a part two in maybe 6 months or so to see how you're doing.
That sounds like a lot of fun, man. This has been great. Thank you very much for your time as well.
Wish you all the best and till next time.
You too, brother.